Hey guys, this is lesson 2.2. Now we took some notes about the steps, and again, you might see different textbooks, different spots online give kind of compress some of these steps. I think if I wrote out every single thing, maybe I'd have 6, 7 steps. I'm going to talk through how to maybe squish these into smaller steps. And we talked about this in class. So I think step 1, it's copy, wait. Step 1, copy a point. Step 2, measure with your compass how far apart these are. Kind of keeping your compass the same width, kind of make an arc right here. Then pick a dot along this arc, anywhere along that arc. Then the last step, you want to use a straight edge to connect those dots. So that's essentially how we copy a line. It doesn't have to be parallel. Like for instance, I could go down here to G and say I pick a point over here to copy G. And I open my compass to measure how far wide it is. And I could mimic that here. I don't have to have the same orientation. Notice the openness of that is the same. And I could make an arc. So in that same way, picking a point along that arc and then using a straight edge, I've copied this line over here to this line. They are the same length. They don't really have to have their same orientation. So writing out those steps would look like copying a line segment. Step 1, I made a point not on the segment that I started with. Okay. Step 2, I open the compass the width of the segment I'm given. And that looks like this. Here's my compass. And maybe this is my original line segment. I open it the width of the segment. Then to copy it, I moved the pointy end, not the pencil part, but the sharp end of my compass to the new point I've made. And I make an arc. And then on that arc, I pick a new point. Okay. Last step seems to be the common last step. I want to connect those 2 points. So I'm going to connect, moved, I connected the 2 new points with a straight edge. Okay. Now, how would I copy an angle? That's a little bit trickier. It looks like it's at least going to take another step. And in fact, I think in class it took us 6 or 7 steps. So if we could kind of summarize our thinking, if we could squish some of these steps into maybe 5 steps, let's see how we could use or did use this paper. So again, what I'm trying to do is copy this angle somewhere else, maybe over here or over here. How would I do that more precisely with a compass and a straight edge? So step 1, we want to make a ray. Okay. I guess I'll call that P. I make a ray. Step 2, I want to use my compass to make an arc from here. And then I'm going to use the compass to make an arc from there. Now I want to make sure that I don't open or close my compass. So this is my compass, right? And I make an arc, and in the same way, my compass is going to make that same arc. Okay? And anytime I make an intersection between 2 lines, I like to rename those. So I'm going to call this M and N. Now, after I've done that, I want to take my compass and measure how wide or how far apart is MN And then I'm going to mimic that over here. So how far apart is M in? And then I'm going to use that to make an arc right there. So how far apart is M in? And we made an arc right there. Now, it sounds like a lot of steps, but I'm now at my last step. Last step, connect the dots. So I found the intersection of those two. And what I'm noticing is this arc, the openness of this angle, is pretty similar to the openness of this angle. It might not be perfect, but it's close with those 5 steps I gave. Okay, if I numbered every step, it would probably be more, but if I kind of try to summarize those steps. So step number 1 was I just made a ray off to the side, not on the original angle I had. So I have an original angle and I go off to the side and make a ray, right? Step 2, I put the pointy end of the compass on the angle so I put it here, the angle I want to use. So I call that the given angle. So I put the pointy end of the compass on the given angle, and I made, I guess, I already did it. I made an arc and labeled those 2 new intersection points. So I made an arc from here and labeled these 2. Okay, step 3. I want to make sure that I kept the compass the same. I don't want it to get open or closed. So whatever I use to use my compass to make this arc, I want to go over here and use my same compass to make the same identical arc. So make another arc from my new point. Keep the compass the same. And I made an arc across my new ray, and I want to label that new point. All right, label that new point. Next, step 4. Remember, I'm going to open my compass, figure out how far apart these 2 dots are, and mimic that over here. Make an arc there. So measure that same width. So if I wrote that out in words, I opened my compass, the width of the 2 points on my given arc, and then I have to move over to the new shape. I moved the pointy end to the other new point and made an arc. So again, looking at this, I measured the width of these 2 and mimicked that width over here, making an arc. So I knew how far apart that was. Last step always seems to make sense. I'm going to connect those dots, right? So I connected the points to draw a ray. If we look here, this is my new point, my intersection, right? There it is. So what I've done here is I've copied the openness of this angle over here to this angle using my tools. Thanks for joining us, summarizing our notes. What are the steps to copy a line segment and copy an angle?